weren't expecting you today.
Well, I didn't have any surgery scheduled for this morning, so I thought I'd come by and pitch in. Well, you go to the clinic and nobody shows up.
Well, you do without sarcasm, Mark.
Well, apparently you're doing without patients, too.
The patients are probably not here because they are scared of the mob, right?
Obviously.
Rick thinks it's very important for us to be here so that they can see that we're not scared.
Well, maybe you're not scared, but it seems the patients certainly are.
We know that, Mark. Do you have to rub it in?
Don't snap at me. Why don't you admit it? This is totally a waste of time. Don't you realize you're just standing around here wasting time?
I tell you what we don't need, Mark, is somebody like you handing us comments like that.
Well, what you do need are patience, and you're not going to get any.
That is your opinion.
Well, judging from looking around, I think it's a fact. You're right. The mob has scared them off.
They'll be here.
They'll be here.
That's right.
They'll be here. You know when what freezes over.
All right. Now, guys, there is nothing to be gained by the two of you arguing.
I am not arguing. I simply resent the waste.
Waste what waste?
Of your time and talent, for one thing. Instead of standing around this empty cause, Celebrare, you could be in OR right now at General Hospital, saving somebody's life.
Wait, I've heard that before. I've heard it one too many times. My great surgical skills being wasted. Thank you. That's enough.
All right, to hell with it. Came down here to give you a hand. I heard the clinic was open. Forget it.
No, Mark, we are grateful, honestly.
Well, thank you. But one thing I didn't expect to find was two able doctors wasting half a day waiting for patients to come around who don't...
We're not wasting time. You got that?
I have to agree with him on that. I think it's very important that we're here, that we show people we are ready to take care of them.
Thank you. There is no one here.
They will be here, Doctor.
It's pointless, and you both know it.
What is pointless is having this entire discussion with you. You cut me out.
Honey, wait, Rick.
No, I'm not going to sit around for the next part, which happens to be I told you so.
Rick.
Thanks, Mom.
You look awfully down, Rick. What happened?
It's more what didn't happen. We open the clinic, we wait for patients, and nobody shows up.
I'm sorry.
And to top it all off, Mark comes by and he tells us we're wasting time.
Well, I'm sure that's exactly what you needed to hear.
The worst part is that he's half correct. We did open up, we have waited for patients, and no one's there, so we're wasting time.
Well, I know you must feel frustrated, Rick, but you gotta hang in there.
Oh, for some kind of miracle to come along? These people down here are scared.
And those same people need to be reassured, and can be. Look, when I threw Scotty out of here a couple of months ago, he reminded me that there are plenty of other restaurants in town.
There's no other Kellys. You got an institution down here.
Well, I hope that's true, because Scotty also reminded me that when he opens his new mall here, there's going to be a lot more new restaurants on the waterfront. So I thought about it, and I just decided I have to hold my ground.
Of course, you were right.
And that's what you have to do, Rick. Look, because if the people down here see that you're not going to be driven out, that you're going to stay here, they'll come back.
I sure hope so, because I got a lot of my life and a lot of blood in this project, and I'm not going to let it go down the tubes.
And it won't. Believe me.
Thanks.
What do I owe you, Rose?
Just $1 even by.
Oh, thanks.
Sure.
Mrs. Galbert, hi, how are you?
Oh, Dr. Weber, it's you.
Right.
I didn't notice.
How's your leg?
Still gives me a lot of trouble.
Well, the clinic's open. Why don't you stop by? I'll take a look at it.
No, I don't think so, Doctor. I'd rather put up with a bum leg than drink poisoned water.
That's all been corrected.
Oh? What might happen next? I just can't take the chance.
If you feel that strongly, there is a free clinic at General Hospital. I'm sure we can get you down there.
That means a bus trip both ways, Doctor, and I can't afford the fare. Especially since I have to call a doctor to come to see me.
Then I guess we're right back where we started. We have the free Waterfront clinic, and it's open right now. Please.
Just scared to try it.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
We all do. We even pray for you, Dr. Weber. I mean, holding on the way you do. Something awful could happen to you.
I doubt that.
Don't be so sure.
Why, the waterfront's always been rough. You know that, but people manage to stay safe enough.
Yes,
Right.
but not anymore. It's changed now.
How has it changed?
Well, there used to be fights, drunken brawls once in a while, things like that.
And there still are.
Right.
Yeah. But now there's something else. It's a kind of a feeling of, well, evil you can sense everywhere. It isn't just rough, Rose. It's scary.
There is nothing for anyone to be afraid of, really.
You wouldn't say that if you knew how people feel. They're supposed to be redeveloping the waterfront, right?
Yes, that's the intention.
Well, I say they're not redeveloping it. They're destroying it. And we're all scared.
Leslie, I'm sorry I upset Rick, but I had to call it the way I saw it. I really resent this waste.
Well, I feel like I'm caught in the middle here. I agree with you. He's brilliantly talented as a doctor, and for him just to sit around anywhere doing nothing all day is a waste.
Well, what about you? You're a brilliant doctor as well. It's a waste of your time, too.
You have to understand there's another side to this, Mark. He built this place with his own blood, sweat, and tears. His whole heart is in here. I don't blame him for trying to save it.
Rick's a smart man. And a wise man will see the inevitable.
Oh, no. This is what I was afraid of. No patience.
No, not all morning.
Well, where's Rick? I thought he'd be here.
Well,
He was here. He left rather abruptly.
What do you mean? What happened?
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary. Just another blow-up because somebody confronted him about the clinic. I'm sure he went looking for a sympathetic shoulder to cry on. If you need to talk to him, I would suggest the Kellys is probably the place to start.
I don't understand.
Nothing. I'm sorry. Nothing.
well, I tried to tell him this is a no-win situation. He didn't want to accept it, but it's the truth. This place is finished.
Well, I find that hard to accept as well. I just can't imagine the people down here without the medical attention they need.
Neither can I.
Well, I think they can have the proper medical attention. I don't know the details, but I'm sure there must be an alternative.
Like what?
Well, what it boils down to is you have to admit this place is through. And you have to find a way to get the waterfront patients to the clinic at General Hospital.
Mark, that involves a ride. These people don't have cars. Most of them don't even have the bus fare.
Well, even if they have a dime, they need it for food.
Well, what I have in mind doesn't cost a cent.
What do you mean, like some kind of carpool?
No. I'm talking about a bus. Not a public bus, but a private bus. As a shuttle between the waterfront and General Hospital.
You know, that just might work.
Sure.
A bus or a van.
Well, but it would only work if it wouldn't cost them anything to ride it.
Well, that's the whole idea. You get volunteers. You get volunteers to drive down here at certain points of the waterfront. You have volunteers to help the patients off at General Hospital.
You know, it would be a godsend. Except we don't have a bus or a van.
Well, I have an idea. The hospital might help fund this. We can bring the idea to Steve. He can take it to the board. Are they going to turn us down?
Well, it would certainly give the people here the medical care they need. They might be afraid of coming here, but I don't really see how they could object to a free bus ride.
Leslie, then you're for the idea.
Well, let's say I'm for it if we understand that we are talking stopgap here, that this is only temporary until this place is accepted again.
And what if it isn't?
It's got to be. It will be. It's got to be. Rick is going to devote the rest of his life to making sure of it. But I think if we could present him with this shuttle idea and make sure he understands that we're only talking about a temporary solution, I think he might agree to.
Hey, Rose! Doc! Guess what?
What?
Guess what's happened?
What?
They stopped tearing down the apartment building.
Oh, ho. Let me get that straight.
I got it straight, Doc. Honest. The police commissioner made the workers stop tearing down the building.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. You know what that could mean?
What?
Maybe that dumb mall won't ever happen.
Hey! Rick, do you think it's true?
Well, he sure sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, but if it is true, I wonder what made Robert stop them.
I don't know. I wish I did know.
Hey, guess what? We heard just some unbelievable news.
Yeah, I didn't believe it either, but it's true. I assume you're talking about the demolition.
Yes.
Yeah, they're stopped. They're not working any longer.
I know.
Oh, it's true. We just passed there, and there's no work being done.
One of the workers told us that their permit was withdrawn.
And that's what we were told, and that Scorpio had stopped them.
Right.
Which I think is incredible, but I don't know how he managed it.
Well, let's not question it. Let's just be glad it happened.
You better believe it. Any patients?
No. But Mark has what we think might be an absolutely terrific idea.
Oh.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of details to be worked out, but it's a fairly simple plan, Rick.
What is it?
That every waterfront person can have free medical care, even if this project does go through.
It's kind of exciting.
Well, fine. Let's sit down and talk about it.
Right.
So you have a bus or a van, make specific stops on the waterfront, then back to General Hospital. Round trips, of course.
And what about funding?
Mark thinks that the hospital may vote to underwrite it.
And a lot of work will be done by volunteers.
It's only temporary, see?
Yeah, and then when they got faith in the clinic again, you could phase out the shuttle system, that's all.
But what do you think, Rick?
I think it's good theory.
Don't you think it's good practice, too?
No, I don't. I'll tell you why. No matter how we try to personalize the free clinic at General Hospital, it's not going to work. These are a different bunch of people down here, and they just don't like the outside.
It's true.
From the very beginning, when we started this clinic, we knew we were dealing with a special bunch of people that didn't interact with the rest of the city. They're afraid of it. They want to stay here. They deal with themselves on their own turf.
I can't believe people are going to pass up free medical care because it's not available on the waterfront.
Well, I do. I just talked with a woman who'll give you a very good example of it. You remember Mrs. Calvert? You worked on her at the clinic.
Sure, she's got a problem with her leg, yeah.
All right, fine. She was just telling us why she's afraid to go to the waterfront clinic. She started naturally with the poisoned water episode.
Oh, but didn't you tell her that that's all taken care of?
Of course I did, but what was important, what was running underneath, and most important of all, was that they are afraid of the outside. They don't want to leave this little area.
They've always been like that.
Oh, they have they?
Well, but what we'd have to do then to fight that is make it very clear that this is only a temporary measure. It's just temporary. Now, don't you think that they would accept that?
Yes, I think they would accept that. They would even understand that. But what I'm afraid of is they're going to read something a lot worse into it, which happens to be true.
Like what?
Like the second we say shuttle, and we start moving them from here to General Hospital, they're going to know that we backed off from the mob.
How can you conclude something like that?
Very easily, Doctor, because I understand how they think. You don't. The second we say shuttle, they know we've sold out to the mob. Now, you're so crazy about this idea. Fine, you do it. It's all yours. I'm out of it.
He has a point.
Oh, but Rose, there's nothing wrong with change.
Well, I know, but the people down here don't understand.
Well, I understand that